What's going on? I want to talk a little bit about finding inspiration in photography. I think we've all been there that you just hit a slump and you just don't feel like going out and taking photos. And sometimes it's just you need a break. You just need to de-stress or relax or just you know not talking about those days. Just talking about the days where you want to go take photos, but you're just you're needing that push to get off of the couch or you know get away from the computer, put down the iPad. The best advice I have is grab your camera, whether it's mirrorless or point and shoot or whatever. Maybe picking up an old camera that you haven't shot with in a long time and going out and taking photos with it. But grab that camera, whatever it is, and don't just say, hey, my plan is to go take really great photos today. Just leave the house with a thought in mind that you want to go take photos of red objects. And I say red objects, vehicles, signs, a red shirt in a shop window, a red pair of shoes, some red paint that was spilled on the sidewalk. Something where you have something that you're thinking about. But also, when you're doing that, another thing to think of is, maybe taking photos that are different than what you would normally take. Switching your camera over to black and white or sepia, however it's said. Go into a mode you normally wouldn't take photos in. Go to an aspect ratio you wouldn't normally shoot. And try a different setting in camera. Especially in these mirrorless, bump up the contrast in camera, bump up the sharpness, bump some of the, change around some of the settings that affect the straight out of camera JPEG, and let that be what you're trying for that day. Just use those days to kind of experiment. And even apps like Guru Shots, or I'm sure there's other ones out there like Photo Challenge apps, or even watch a video on YouTube. If you're sitting at your computer or you're watching videos on your iPad anyway, you know look for a photo challenge. I'm sure you can find something online if you did a quick search for photo challenge ideas and set out with a photo challenge. Like today, I may not feel like taking photos, but I look over and there's an American flag and there's some fog in the trees behind it. You know, that might make for a cool photograph. But it's one of those things that if I just say, I'm not gonna go out and take photos. I may not see that photo. I may not, and there might not be a good photograph with it because I might just not be able to get a composition that works really well. But the point is to go out there and push your creativity. Try new things. Try something different. Try a camera you haven't shot with in years. Maybe it's not a good high ISO camera, but maybe that noise might look kind of cool and it might fit in with the look that you end up getting. Just don't make it about getting the shot that's gonna get thousands of likes. Just make it about go and have fun. And I think that's the thing. If you're taking photos and your only goal is how many likes I can get, how many comments I can get, you kind of lose sight of your photography. If you just go out there and you're just taking photos, and that's I take photos. I take photos that make me happy. I take photos that I enjoy. I take photos that I can look back at and say, hey, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. it kind of captures a moment or captures something, or it does something that I'm not looking to say, oh, let me take this picture because I think, people, I'm going to get 100 likes on it on Instagram. I don't care. A lot of my photos I just look at for myself, and maybe to push yourself creatively, look at changing your photography workflow. Maybe instead of just having where you take the pictures and then you come home and you do your post processing, look at something to transfer the photos to your phone and then be able to process them on your phone and upload them to social media. Or whatever it is that you want to do with them. Or share, or send it to friends, or post it on your Facebook, whatever it is that you're, post it on a photography competition, app or something. But change up your workflow to where you're doing something with the photos while you're still out and about, versus waiting, having to just wait till you get home to then work on those images. It's find something, don't just let your motivation and just sit at home doing nothing. Find something to kind of get you out the door. Even if it's just to be like, you know what, I'm going to go for a walk and I'm just going to bring a small camera with me. I'm not going to bring, my big DSLR with my 10 to 20, my 12 to 24, my 24 to 70, my 70 to 200, and my macro lens and all this stuff. I'm just going to go out and bring a little point and shoot. Or I'm going to go for a walk and I'm just going to take photos with my cell phone. But go out there and just have fun. Worry about getting the image. Don't stress about the technicalities of it. Once you start getting into the groove of things and you're starting to, you got one or two cool images, then you start saying, okay, you know what? Now I'm feeling it. And you've found some inspiration for your photos that day. So the main message of this: go out there, take a camera or something with a camera, or more than one camera if you're using a phone. Go out there, take some pictures, try something different. Whatever. But we all enjoy photography, and it's sometimes you get into little slumps where you're just not really feeling it, and like I said in the beginning, if you're just kind of tired and you just need a day to relax, take that day. Have a good one, and go out there and take some photos.